Not my usual, but I said I would. So here's my follow-up to the Minecraft movie. Spoiler warning, I saw the movie itself for the second time recently because of how fun I found it the first go-around, and I'll have to say it held up in the entertainment factor. There was lots of hilarious banter between characters, especially between Steve and Garrett, or I suppose I should rather say Jack Black and Jason Momoa. The relationship development between them from a rivalry of leadership to good friends was wholesome, and there was lots of memorable quotes. The full man sandwich bit is one I simply can't get over. Of course, my least favorite aspect of the movie was the setup of plot, which took place outside of the Minecraft overworld in the real world, specifically Idaho. But even then, there were some memorable acting moments between the characters in the early game, so I also totally get that. To establish the reason why this cast of characters would be traveling to the Minecraft overworld together, yeah, you ought to have the relationships between them organically grow, and so I'll give it all a pass. The plot itself, in terms of how the Minecraft world was established, rides a narrative of a piglin horde plotting a mass invasion from the lurking depths of the Nether, led by a Queen of the Hill, so to speak, named Malgosha, who seeks to banish creativity from all reaches in the overworld and reap it of all its gold, as piglins do. Not gonna lie, I feel pretty bad for Malgosha, despite her being an outright warlord, because the reason she's so bitter about everything is that she was essentially booed off the stage in a Nether's Got Talent show for her sick dance moves. Like, talk about freaking crabs in a bucket. All she needed was some appreciation for her ability to dance, and she got absolutely dogged on. Mobs in general, like skeletons, zombies, and such, in the portrayal was pretty cut and dry in establishing enemy mobs bad, though I was jealous of how lucky Garrett was in being rained down upon with arrows and not being struck by a single one, considering how many hardcore worlds I've lost in the early game due to those boneheads. The chicken jockey seed was pretty flavorful, as it made a colorful portrayal of how it actually freaking feels to deal with, and making it a fight with hell on wheels and a WWE-style wrestling match in a woodland mansion. It was kind of crazy. They did cram in the conflict that was foreshadowed with the Enderman, however. I'm personally a fan of the lore behind the end, and I would not say the Enderman was portrayed in a way I expected, and hardly felt like a threat in the end. The depiction of crafting in the Minecraft world was loyal to the crafting table system, but took a lot of liberties in making stuff you could never actually make in-game. Like Garrett accidentally creating bucket nunchucks, and Henry creating a tater tot blunderbuss, which was actually pretty rad. And it played a major role in the resolution of the conflict against the piglin invasion that kicked off towards the end of the movie. By the way the swords and axes were depicted in the movie were absolutely sick, and I will be getting myself one someday. But my overall thoughts, it was creative and fun. There were practically no limits to the imagination of what our characters sought to invent in the face of adversity, organically scaling their understanding of what they are good at and enjoy doing, despite the drab and downtrodden expectations in the real world. There's an overall message of, you can escape to experience this thing where you truly get to let loose and explore your creativity, but taking what you learn and applying it to what makes you happy and promotes healthy growth in the real world are what truly matter, and you really ought to encourage your creative side to flourish despite what others tell you. I loved the dialogue pretty much throughout the whole gig, with some conversations being relatable, others being pretty creatively slapstick, and others outright nonsensical. You truly could not predict what would come out of anyone's mouth, and it was refreshing. I'll probably be buying it and maybe even trying the in-game movie event. It's either that or hardcore mode. You could watch me stream it if you'd like. You can actually find me on Twitch as Rudy Radio on Wednesday nights. Hopefully I'll see you there, but do pardon the long rant, as I know it's